Hello everyone and welcome to another News Coolum video. I wanted to do a bit of a solar update right now because, something happened. Not really something happened, but I found something along the way, not just kitty prints on the solar panels, those are there as well. But this is a different array that I put out. Now this is still hooked up to the Growatt that I have. And I've been using that primarily to charge my EV on, but I've been using it to run other things as well. The big difference though is I originally had the Growatt hooked up to 6 400 watt panels. And now this is actually only 5 350 watt panels. So the 6 400 watt panels versus this 5 350 watt panels. Now the reason I have them only this many, right? Just on the surface you'd say, well, one's 2400 watts, one's 1750 watts. Why can't I just add more panels to this? And it has to do with the voltage versus the current and what the Growatt can actually input. Now the open circuit voltage for the 400 watt panels means that I can run 6 of them in series, whereas the open circuit voltage for these 350 watt panels is actually much higher, so I can only run 5 of them. And then these are also lower amperage panels, so the actual current that's going in is also lower. It's just overall lower power levels. But the shocking thing, and this is what I wanted to kind of illustrate here, just a friendly reminder, and none of this is permanent yet, right? And based on what I discovered, I'm probably maybe switching out tonight. But even though this is 650 watts less power than the 2400 watt array, because of the positioning of these panels, it's adding about 10% more to a 15 kilowatt hour battery pack. In other words, over the course of a day, the other array, Gandhi, you are ruining everything. Yeah, come here, off the solar panels. So over the course of the day, this will add about 10% more to the state of charge of the 15 kilowatt hour battery pack than the 2400 watt will. And so that's about a 1.5 kilowatt hour per day difference, despite being down 650 watts, right? And all of it has to do with sun exposure. These panels are just out in the sun. Oh, yeah. These panels are just out in the sun for far longer, right? This is 3 p.m. and these panels are still getting full sun exposure. Obviously the sun is at an angle, but they're still getting full sun exposure, while the 2400 watt array where it was situated, I can see it right now, it's completely shaded. So just the difference in time and sun exposure made these panels so much more effective. And so what I'm doing next now, like I said, I did this just as a test because I didn't want to tear the other array down in case this didn't work out. I'm actually going to take these down, move the 2400 watt array out here, hook it up, and then from there I'll be able to update and see even more. That way I'll have an actual, direct controlled test of 2400 watts with not great sun exposure versus 2400 watts with essentially full sun exposure. And again, this is, we're still in the early days of winter, so we're still some of the shortest days in terms of sun exposure. We haven't had a whole lot of clouds or overcast, so I've been able to do a fairly good controlled experiment, though even still there have been some anomalies. I get no respect, I tell you. I get no respect. Steve! Steve, what are you doing? Steve, your fat ass is costing me hundreds of watts. But that's what kitties will do for you. And like I said, eventually I'll kind of sort out where I want the panels, how I want them situated, how many of them. But for right now, I think my next step is to actually, like I said, update that. And then I also need to move my RAV4 EV that doesn't have the battery, because the F3800 is being charged by panels that are farther over there, and they're already at this point, like I said, almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they're already being shaded, partially shaded by that RAV4 EV. So I just wanted to, like I said, I just wanted to point that out. Is I think sometimes maybe we get too caught up in what type of solar panel is it? Is it the best efficiency solar panel? Is it the newest, greatest thing? When a lot, I think, can be gained simply by choosing the location and setting the panels up in the ideal location and wherever you are. And like I said, this is already down 650 watts, but up 1.5 kilowatt hours per day. And just so, like, just to give that numbers right, like I said, I'm just rounding it to a 15 kilowatt hour battery pack. Right now, these, as they currently sit, these 350 watt panels are adding about 40% to that battery in a day. And like I said, we're still in mid-January. So by summertime, even this array might actually be able to charge that 15 kilowatt hour battery pack to full just by themselves, right? And so that 2400 watt might actually be generating a surplus during summertime, which is fine, right? Like, the battery is there to absorb the energy for use at a later date. But if you're using it during the day at the time, then even better, because you're going to be using the power that you're generating while also filling up the battery. So there's a good chance of still maybe not filling the battery, but having a whole lot of usable power throughout the day and still putting a significant amount of energy in. So for right now, I just wanted to, like I said, do a quick update with that. This turned out way better than I thought it did. So experiment was a success. And like I said, I think I'm going to tonight put the 2400 watt panels out here. And then, like I said, even though it's the middle of January, see if maybe I can drain that 15 kilowatt hour battery pack down to really low, and then see how much I can actually put into it in just a single day without plugging into that battery. So stay tuned. So let me know if you've seen anything similar with your solar arrays, just putting them and placing them in better locations for better sun exposure. And yeah, I look forward to hearing your input and your comments, and of course trying to keep the kitties off the panels. But as always, thank you for watching.